Welcome to the first week of our course, What Future for Education? Each week in this course we will be looking at different aspects of education and examining what the fruits of educational research can tell us to help us understand these in a little more detail. I'm guessing that you started this programme because you're interested in learning something. So it seems reasonable to start the whole course off by examining what we mean about learning and how we learn. So our first question is, how do we learn? And I'm delighted that my colleague who works with me here at the Institute, Dr. Fiona Roger, is here to help us understand that question and to go into it in a little more detail. Fiona works with me here at the Institute on our Masters of Education programme, and she runs a module called Critical Perspectives on Teaching and Learning. So she's an expert in learning and will be able to answer some of our questions. So we're going to dive right in. Fiona, can you start us off by telling us, does everybody learn in the same way?
No, I don't think we do, Claire. I think that's something that's really interesting about learning. We all learn in very different ways because we're all unique as people, therefore we're all going to learn very differently and we find the way that suits us best. So if I can give you some examples, some of us learn through listening. We enjoy listening to lectures or programmes or something on the radio. Often we do it by observing. I've been a classroom teacher, so I'll sit and I'll watch, I'll observe. We observe other people in our practice, so we can pick up from that. A lot of sharing, working in groups, working with your peers, discussing, talking, and we learn formally and informally. And also, very particular to this module that I've been working on and that possibly the MOOC will help, is this online learning that we do. When people share through discussions online or meet online or through Skype and talk with one another. So there's loads of different ways of learning. Doing, role play, experience. Lots of people learn from experience, lots of jobs people learn from experience. So no, I think we all learn in different ways and we find the way that suits us and suits what it is that we want to do.
So would you agree then with people that say that individuals have a preferred learning style?
I think people find the best learning style that suits them. Some people like to be locked away in a quiet room and just get on with reading. Others prefer to meet with their colleagues and their peers and share in that way. So people find the style that works more for them. Some people like doing it independently, some people like sharing. So you find the style that works for you.
So if we were to break it down into its component chunks, how does somebody go about learning something?
Well, there are different ways of doing that. That sort of goes back to what I was saying earlier. But I like to think about models of learning and ways of doing it. So we've talked a little bit about collaborative learning, working with peers and sharing ideas and having conversations and discussions. There are other models of learning. Something like reflection, for example, is a really good form of learning that some people adopt. You know, looking back, thinking about what you've done, kind of unpicking the process of what you've done, and you can learn in that way. There's lots of theories around learning. There's lots of people agree and disagree with one another, and that's what's really interesting about getting involved in learning, because you learn what everybody's talking about. And some people say we learn by constructing knowledge. We think about what we've learned in the past, and we've all done that. My particular interest lies in adults learning and what they bring to that, and what they bring is a repertoire of life experience and knowledge, and construct that knowledge. A lot of somebody like Vygotsky, for example, might say that we learn through social interaction. Again, that's a bit about the collaboration, that we work with other people. We can learn behaviours. We can, as somebody very big on learning is somebody that we called Paulo Freire, who's a Brazilian, who talked about the banking form of learning, where we just learned facts, but we perhaps don't understand the reason for the facts. So we look a bit in this module as well about understanding learning rather than just banking facts. So there's lots of different ways of learning.